Who does Bill Gates think he is to make comments about the welfare of children, given that he frequented Jeffrey Epstein?
Okay, well,
bam.
He said he regrets those, and he spent a lot of his own money on philanthropy.
Bam. Okay, so guess what? Elon Musk is ripping Bill Gates.
Great.
Elon Musk just ripped Bill Gates, saying that. Well, let's listen. Here it is.
To ask you about U.S. aid and the comments that Bill Gates made the other day, and I know that you called him.
Yeah, he's a huge liar.
I know you've said that already. I wondered.
Also,
and I'm just.
Who does Bill Gates think he is to make comments about the welfare of children, given that he frequented Jeffrey Epstein?
Okay, well,
bam.
He said he regrets those, and he spent a lot of his own money on philanthropy.
Bam. Well, it's good to know that Elon Musk has been watching my show, I guess. Is that finally getting the message about which side to choose? Huh? I just don't. Maybe it's just theater, but it's damn good theater, and I'll take it. Let's listen to more.
You know, I just want to say really quickly, like the idea that she comes back.
Yeah, she
defends. Reporter, and then she wants to say that, well, he's also, a philanthropist. Well, that's the reason he's doing philanthropy.
Yes, that's right. It's his cover, you dummy. But she's also paid for. How do you think she got this job?
Yeah.
You think she's an independent thinker, whoever this woman is?
Yes. My question to you is, have you looked at the data to check if he might be right that the cuts to USAID might cost millions of lives?
Yes. I'd like him to show us any evidence whatsoever that
So there it is. That was great. Let's listen to it again.
To ask you about US aid and the comments that Bill Gates made the other day, and I know that you called him.
Yeah, he's a huge liar.
I know.
What did he say? I couldn't make it out.
Let's hear it again.
And she responds like she knows.
That you called him.
Yeah, he's a huge liar.
I know.
He's a huge liar? Is that or
sounds like that? Try it again.
You've said that already. I wondered.
Also,
and I'm just.
Who does Bill Gates think he is to make comments about the welfare of children, given that he frequented Jeffrey Epstein?
Okay, well, he said he regrets those, and
I wouldn't trust that guy to babysit my kids.
I like who he said. I wouldn't trust that guy to babysit my kids. We don't have that part, but later he clarified. I mean, I'd never trust Gates with those kids of mine that I actually see. That's a different. Better question is, who's got the balls to bring up USAID as if it weren't a CIA cutout? That's what I want to know. Anyway, so
he spent a lot of his own money on philanthropy.
He spent a lot of his own money on philanthropy. You know, like how he spent all that money on bringing vaccines to people that he made billions of dollars on. You mean that kind of thing? You mean how he made $500 million off the COVID vax alone? You mean that kind of philanthropy? I think he spent a lot of his own money. That's our money. You don't make $1 billion. You steal $1 billion. Okay? God damn. So it looks like the kid with the Asperger's is the smartest kid in the room once again. Even if he didn't invent any of his cool toys, Elon Musk certainly picked the right side of this one thing when everything fell apart. So nice. So here's a little bit more. Gates has allegedly been to Epstein Island 6 times and confirmed to have flown on the Lolita Express through released flight logs. This should tell you everything you need to know. Bill Gates met with Jeffrey Epstein many times despite Epstein's past. He was a convicted pedo when he was meeting with him.
Jimmy, but he regrets it.
But he regrets
and he's a philanthropist.
Regrets it. And look at this. Right? I don't know. Maybe. Here we go.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
So here she is asking. Now, he did not see this question coming because Bill Gates funds the PBS NewsHour. Did you know that? They didn't have a science report, so he just gave them a bunch of money. So now her salary is paid in part or large part by this guy. So that's why he's willing to come on this show, because he did not think that they were going to confront him over his Jeffrey Epstein garbage. And she did. Watch this.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson?
There's nothing new on that. What? I regret, hanging out with a pedophile, and he's such a wholesome guy. Let's take a look at it. He's such a wholesome guy in a Mr. Rogers sweater, right? Doesn't he look? You would never think that a psychopathic devil who preying on children and everybody else in the world, he wears glasses and he looks like a nerd and he wears a crew neck sweater. You would never think that. His neighborhood was Billionaire Perversion Island, just in case you didn't know. And let's watch him. He's going to slip in a veiled threat coming up. Watch this. So he is not happy with her doing this.
Absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead. So, in general, you always have to be careful.
Because you could end up dead asking these kinds of questions. You see him? See that tight? He's dead. So you better be careful. I fund your show. I could get you fired. That's what that is. That's what that looks like. Boy, he's about as graceful as slipping in a veiled thread as Kevin Spacey is and reinserting himself in Hollywood. Hey, why don't you use some lube? That stuff that Diddy's using now. Isn't it ironic that the one time Diddy could really use lube is now when he's behind bars? Isn't that funny?
And, I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy, very proud of the work of the foundation. That's what I get up every day and focus on.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm always about, helping people.
Oh.
You got to admit, it is big of Bill Gates to say he regrets it. Credit where credit's due. That's very hard for a lizard. It's very hard. Here's our good friend Russell Brand. He tweets out, who does Bill Gates think he is to make comments about welfare of children, given that he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein? Effing brilliant, says Russell Brand.
Who does Bill Gates think he is to make comments about the welfare of children, given that he frequented Jeffrey Epstein?
Okay, well, he said he regrets those. And
That's fucking brilliant. That's brilliant, man. Did you hear the room? It split the room. Some people are like, oh, and the interviewer's Bill Gates' side, isn't it? Oh no, he's said he regrets going around Jeffrey Epstein. Well, I don't know. How do you feel when you look at pornography the second after you ejaculate? Do you think, that was brilliant? Or do you go, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that? Imagine if you had that feeling and you looked up and Jeffrey Epstein was there going, everything okay? Enjoying the weekend? You might be like, nah, man, I don't know what happened. I got myself sucked into a world of dreadful sin.
Way to go. That's very funny. Nice going. Anyway, so there you go. There's Elon Musk letting Bill Gates have it. And of course, the interviewer got her job because she's in the tank for the establishment. And it was nice to see him split the room like that. Come see us on tour in Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.